Good morning, Senator Cardin. Thank you for introducing me. And Ms. Guzman, thank you for your willingness to serve without much of a question. This is a really important time to be serving as a small business administrator. And I will say to Senator Cardin's last comment as relates to those who are formerly incarcerated who've paid for their deeds for their crimes. It really is important for us to make sure that they are acclimated and then assimilated into the line for the access to the Small Business Administration, the Paycheck Protection Program. And I will note that Senator Booker and myself, we were able to get guidance from the previous administrator of the SBA to make sure that those folks who were not involved in financial crime, as Senator Cardin just alluded to, had an opportunity to avail themselves to the loans, be it the EIDL loan or the PPP loans. So that's a really important part of creating jobs and opportunity and growing equity in this country for those who are formerly incarcerated. One of the other issues that is really important to me, Ms. Guzman, is the fact that 30 million plus small businesses around the country depend on you to be their voice, to be the person at the table within this administration when talking about some of the common sense priorities that must be understood from the prism of a small business owner's perspective. I thank you for working as a small business owner yourself in your father's business. I certainly am a former small business owner and understand and appreciate that the more you increase cost, the fewer jobs you create and the devastating impact that it can have in the middle of a pandemic. That said, I am very concerned that the small businesses around the country need a voice at the table as it relates to this minimum wage debate that we will be having for the next several weeks, if not several years. I'm hoping that you will be a voice of reason at that table, especially having been a part of a small business. I will say that last week I had the opportunity to visit a restaurant here in Washington, D.C. in the Union Market District, a restaurant called Bidwell. I had a chance to speak with the owner, Chef John, and the bar manager, who did a wonderful job of distilling the importance of not increasing the minimum wage, particularly in the midst of a pandemic when we've already seen 110,000 restaurants close their doors permanently, and thousands, if not millions of others are holding on by a thread. By increasing the cost of labor, you actually reduce the number of businesses. And according to the Congressional Budget Office, the number of businesses that we could see lost is in the hundreds of thousands, which will lead to up to almost 4 million lost jobs in the economy. And those numbers were pre-pandemic. I can only imagine that those numbers are infinitely worse in the middle of the pandemic. And my question to you is, as you take all those facts into consideration, can we count on you being a voice of reason, trying to find a way to explain the plight of 30 million small businesses? And I will say that that is a really important consideration that small businesses would love to understand and appreciate your position on.
Thank you, Senator. I know that out of this pandemic, we need a shared recovery. In California, I actually work closely with multiple organizations. I believe in hearing all voices, and I believe strongly in being the voice of small business, that they really do power my work. And those stories mean a lot to me of the different restaurants and bar owners and service industry folks that I have met in my service. And so those stories are really what propel my work. And so I do intend on being the voice of small business at the table and utilizing the resources, if confirmed, at the SBA, including the Office of Advocacy that does extensive research and is an independent agency to make sure that I am aware of the issues and can voice those concerns. And then in addition, the SBA has great programs, to help small businesses adapt to the marketplace. And I would want to be sure that I can help them navigate through any challenges and
Thank you
be
very
able
much.
to succeed.
Yes, ma'am. I'll make this my last note since my time is running out, that the reality of the minimum wage conversation and debate really should be one that's considered from a regional perspective. In states like South Carolina, our the cost of living is about 5.8% lower than the average, where in New York it's about 52% higher, in California 46% higher, and here in DC it's 57% higher. So when you're having a conversation about increasing the cost of business, you're not only lowering the number of employees, you're also having a national conversation about something that has a more regional feel. Thank you for your time, and I will submit other questions for the record. Thank you, Ms. Guzman. Thank you, Senator Cardin.